Yeah, so like right now I'm just
Wow.
leveling this through the event because it's here.
It's also very, very easy. Hi, welcome back, everybody, after a prolonged absence because I apparently lick doorknobs and get sick a lot or something. I don't know.
You do like doorknobs.
Apparently. But
We
yeah,
have to deal with a lot of sick people.
we're back. We are back with the Wednesday campaign Cult Busters here with episode 30 already, which
Damn.
does not seem real. Like a real
Dirty
number.
30.
Dirty 30.
Wait till we get to 69.
Nice. Last time, if I am remembering correctly, you all traveled or started your travel to Covert, or Cot Verte, if you're pronouncing it in common, and came across a group of bandits, a bandit ambush that you guys kind of sussed out and had an interesting encounter with an Ani leader of this bandit troop before continuing on into the evening where, as dusk fell, you finally made it into town. As you all approach Cod Verte, you all see the light from the town first, emanating through the woods as you come out of the woods and into the south gate area of town. The first thing you will notice is the lights. You finally made it into town.
What's odd about the lights?
Are not fire or oil based.
Magic based.
They're hanging from these poles that are attached to the sides of buildings with these weird strings overhead that seem to connect the lights.
So they have electricity in this town?
They do. Above game, yes, they do. Yeah.
No. Yeah, I'm asking above game.
Yeah.
But in game, yeah, no fucking clue.
Some of them buzz. Some of them are a little bit dimmer than others. Some a little bit brighter. But it is, even in the outskirts, the poorer parts of town, they do have
Actually,
these interesting lights that also
in-game
inside
sorry,
like buildings and stuff. Like you see the same light coming out of like windows and establishments and things as you walk into town.
So in-game question.
Yes.
Have I been here before? I know I've been to Rustport.
I will say probably not.
Okay. What have I heard about this place?
It is a primarily, although there are other races here, it was primarily built as a port for the Elvish kingdom of Linnaeus. And because of its position between the salt water and the freshwater lake on the other side of it, they have really, really great farmland outside of it. And as well, you probably would also know that like Rustport, it kind of became a haven for elves because it is outside the barriers of the kingdoms for them to do experimentation and things with technologies that the elves really wouldn't have in their inside their own borders.
Mm-hmm. So would I have heard, like, even if I haven't seen it before, would I have heard stories about how like the lights are really weird here
You probably would have
or
seen
something?
demonstrations of this technology on a smaller scale in Rustport.
Okay.
Because above game like Rustport is building like steam engines and things to try and get like steam technology to work.
So like as we go by, I'll just kind of like look up and like, yeah, I think I've seen something about this before. I think that works where like they dig rocks out of the ground and burn them, and that's what makes all of this. I don't get it, but certainly take a lot of getting used to.
Oh yeah, is it still snowing?
It has kind of dissipated as the evening has worn on.
So what time is it as we walk in?
About 10 o'clock.
So no stores open.
Correct.
Is there looks like to be a nice inn?
I'd also like to see if we can find a like who's in charge, like if there's like a government building or a city hall or something.
So where you
Or
all arrive into is Southgate. Hold up, my internet just free. Okay. Which is a poorer part of town. You see broken windows, destructive buildings. You're like, even if there wasn't in here, you might not want to stay here. And there is no sign of anything like a town guard in the immediate vicinity as you actually arrive into Southgate proper.
Did you put up a town map?
Yes, it's pinned.
yeah, there's one pinned. So we came in at 8.
Yes.
So if we go toward 1, like across that bridge, would we see more development essentially?
I will say once you go through the gate and enter into Fairy Town, you absolutely would.
Okay, so if we turn right and head towards 6.
Yeah, if you go inside the wall of the city itself.
Oh, okay, I see the wall now.
Yeah.
Okay.
As you enter the wall, there is city guard. You'll also notice other people walking around in seemingly unofficial uniforms. People dressing similar ways. Wearing armor, weapons, even though they're not. Don't look in any way official.
Well, people who dress in the same way who are not official usually only means one of a few different things, and most of them are not good. But I'll try to flag over some city guards.
Okay.
If we can get somebody's attention.
It takes a minute because they are kind of relaxed on the job, not really doing the job. One kind of like waddles over in his very loose chainmail. Elvish gentleman. Yes, can I help you?
Is he speaking Elvish
No,
or
he's speaking common.
okay? Yeah, we're from out of town where we've never been here. Apologies, but we were wondering, has this city been experiencing a string of robberies lately?
No, it hasn't.
Okay, we just were ambushed by some bandits on the road who supposedly had just finished robbing a number of nearby homes. We assumed it was probably here.
Interesting.
Anyway, we took all of their stuff. We have all of this, all of these items to hopefully return to people.
Huh. Fascinating. But no, I have no inclination of any of that.
All right, well, thanks for your help.
Of course.
Say, do you know where there's a good inn or a tavern where we might stay the night?
Give me 1 second. Um, if you continue into Fairytown here, along the canal, there is an inn here.
Much obliged.
Yeah, it should be down by the next bridge.
All right, thanks very much.
Of course.
Do any of the uniforms of like the other folks look like familiar, like members of religious orders or anything, or mage orders?
They do not.
Okay.
Well, so where do we want to go? The upstanding law enforcement official recommended this place up the road, and well, I trust people in his line of work about as far as I can throw them.
How far do you think you can throw that one?
I don't know. Should we find out?
Might be tempting. I'd rather find a good a place to rest first.
Oh, might as well
Apparent.
investigate the place suggested.
We might as well. They
Decide for ourselves if it looks.
apparently they call this neighborhood of the city Ferry Town, which I guess is ferry like the boat you take across a river. But when I first heard it, I definitely thought of and I was very confused.
If you go to the canal, you will see actually like ferries taking goods downriver, even at this hour of night.
How many of them does it take to
that
carry a
doesn't help.
box?
See, that doesn't help.
African or
That is,
European. Anyway, sorry.
oh no, that was my reaction also above game when you first said Fairy Town. I was like, Fairy Town? This is gonna be okay. Okay.
I was thinking the same thing.
I'm the only one that was thinking where are all the fucking fake creatures for Fairy Town.
Yeah.
And the only
yeah,
one that
no,
went fast
it's
direction.
everything in fairies. Either that or it's like the cool neighborhood with lots of gay bars.
That too.
Porque no los dos.
It could be all three.
Porque no los tres.
Well, no one official here seems to know anything about these robberies. We might have to ask around through some unofficial channels.
Or they know about the robberies, but they don't want anybody else to know that they know about the robberies. They don't want to spread panic.
Or perhaps the people who were robbed were threatened in some way and didn't report it. You know,
That too, they could be embarrassed.
well, if our, you know, disgusting headless friend scared them and took all their stuff and then said, if you tell anyone, I'll come back and kill you. Who knows?
Or they already killed them.
Could be.
That's true. They might not have reported the robberies because they're kind of dead.
One would think the upstanding law enforcement officers of this town would have taken notice of something like that, but
Unless they didn't find the bodies yet.
well, it's very curious, and I think I'd like to ask around some normal people about it.
Normal.
Well, not cops.
Ah,
Are you guys going to head to the inn he recommended, or are you going to go in a different direction in town?
I think we'll go there and like scope it out, maybe.
Yeah, keep an eye if
Like,
there's any other places in the area
yeah,
too, like on the way over, nearby
yeah.
alternatives.
Okay.
But like, I also just aesthetically, if we're in like the French Quarter, I don't want to stay at the fucking French Quarter Hampton Inn. Like, and I feel like that's probably what he directed us toward. And it's like, I don't want to stay where the cop says to stay.
So, as you
I
guys kind of navigate your
want to get
way,
into some trouble.
yeah. So, as you guys kind of navigate your way through the street, and the easiest path is along the canal itself, like along the river through out to the ocean. Um, a couple times you notice that there are kind of like shacks built in between some of the houses that have like staircases that lead down. And people, occasionally you'll see people going down these stairs and coming up these stairs like there is something else here as you all make your way to the second main drag within Fairytown, which would lead you out towards Nodeville and up into the trade district as well as across the bridge. The tavern sign indicates it is called the Roaring Boar Inn.
Seems loud.
Well, I don't mind loud so much. Depends on what kind of loud. Is it like loud with boisterous locals, or is it like touristy loud with like out of towners getting white girl wasted?
As you, if you were to walk in or look in through one of the windows, it seems to kind of be a mix. Like on the surface, there seems to be like regular people that probably come from the trade district because it's close, so they're kind of in like more like merchant clothes and just there to have a few drinks. And there also seems to be some locals from this side of town that are just getting into shenanigans. If you're looking through the window, make a perception check.
Um, what's my modifier? That's a 22.
Okay. As you look through the window, you also notice the two bartenders are the one behind the bar is actually they're both Aarakocra. The one walking around serving the drinks has like this red, more like traditional parrot color scheme, and the one behind the bar has like more of like a green macaw kind of like color scheme as you look through the window.
Well, what do you all think? Does this place seem all right, or is it for the birds?
Does it look expensive?
Medium?
Well, if your hands are
seems-
feeling itchy, you might be able to find some good stuff in there then.
Seems like all kinds. And we've talked about this before. I've never been much of a thief.
Rather play cards.
I-
Is there people playing cards in there?
Don't
Only
seem to
one
be.
way to find out. Well, just because there's nobody playing cards right now doesn't mean there won't be anyone willing to.
Also, they do have a sign that indicates they have stables behind the building.
Behind the bar.
Behind the bar. Behind the building the bar is in, is what I was going to say. And then I was like, that's a weird way to word it, and it came out way
Behind
worse.
the bar.
It came out way worse.
Oh, no wonder that beer tastes like horse piss. Are the elves here? Are they all like surface elves? Have I seen any drow since we got into
There
town?
are a few drow in town.
Okay.
Are there any gnomes in town?
You haven't seen any gnomes yet.
And I guess we could spend our one night here, find someplace different if we decide we don't like it and want to stay, but still want to stay in town.
Of course. I don't think there's any harm in trying this place out for at least a night. But I think we do still need to talk about what are we doing with our wagon full of people's random junk?
Sell it, I suppose.
I suppose
If we
it
can't
doesn't
get any
really.
better leads on who might have been taken from, if anyone wants it back.
I'm mostly was just interested in whether there's a reward for its safe return. But if they don't even realize it's missing, I somehow doubt it. But with that, I guess we'll like. Is there a place in the stables where we could leave the wagon as
Yes.
well?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so start stabling up the horses and take the
Mhm.
saddles off and
There's like a
all that stuff.
There's a sleeping elf who wakes up when he hears the horses come around the corner. Oh, hello. Hello. Hello.
Evening.
Evening. Are you planning
Sorry,
on?
did we disturb your sleep? I apologize.
I nap all the time. Are you planning on stopping in and staying for the evening?
Uh,
Maybe
yes, I believe so. There are 5 of us.
five horses, one cart.
5 horses, 1 cart.
Five gold.
Four horses, a pony.
4
cart.
horses and a pony. I don't know if the pony is
No,
less.
that's no different. 5 gold. We feed
5
in
gold.
brush.
I hand him over 5 gold. But
Thank you.
say, while I've got you here, have you heard anything about a string of robberies in the area?
Yeah, shit like that happens all the time here.
This would have been
You must be new.
a bunch of them in quick succession.
Yeah, that shit happens all the
Uh,
time here. You must be new, right? Just visiting, I guess.
well,
Maybe.
yes, we are new. We're just passing through, but
Okay.
we we were waylaid by bandits on the road who had this wagon full of stolen property.
Ah.
We gathered they had taken it from people in this city. So we came here to see if anyone was missing it and wanted it back. And the
Good luck.
your law enforcement officials here seem to know nothing.
Good luck. Yeah, they're pretty useless. Most of them just get paid off, so we pay them off to leave us alone too.
Makes sense. I guess all cities are similar in at least a few ways.
Yeah.
Well, that's
All right,
good
well,
to know.
I suppose finders keepers then, but I guess we'll see if we can find any more leads.
I mean, best of luck if you're going to try and do the right thing in the city, but cool.
Oh, I was thinking more about a reward.
It's even less likely. Unless you're going to give it back to the bandits you stole it from.
I'm afraid they're not in
There.
much condition to be accepting anything.
You might fit
If you
in.
catch
You might
our
fit in well
if
here.
if you catch our drift.
Yeah. I get what you're throwing down.
You smell what the rock is cooking?
I don't believe rocks can cook, but
Well, now who's new?
I mean, if you heat some up, you can use them for cooking, I guess. But
Say, do you want to see their leader? He's a very distinctive looking individual.
yeah,
Might
interesting. I
might
mean,
might jog your memory.
I would prefer not to. I assume dead bodies, not really my thing.
Just part of it.
Some people are into that.
Not an entire dead body. Well, all right. We'll ask around. Um, zoomed in.
Certainly can.
I guess just before we leave the stable hand, well, we've got his attention, just ask him for his name.
No. That I don't give out. I'm just the stable boy.
Fair enough.
So that was 5 gold for the stabling. Do we all want to just deduct 1?
Works for me.
Cool.
Right. I assume you all head inside now. Inside the Roaring Boar Inn, there's 3 or 4 stools available at the bar. There are a couple of tables available near the back as well. As you all kind of walk in and listen to the roar of the increasingly getting drunker group of people that have assembled here this evening.
I think grab a table if there's not enough room for the 5 of us at the bar.
Yeah. Okay.
And as we sit down just on the table in front of us, I will conjure a minor illusion of a glass of beer with just like a large insect swimming in it, like dead, like bottom up.
At the
And
table.
yeah, and I think also because a minor illusion can be 5 feet by 5 feet, like in a cube. So like I'll also conjure like some empty glasses around it, so it doesn't look so suspicious.
Okay. As you all walk in, you'll notice a couple weird things. The bar back has a couple fish tanks on it. Algae filled, but there's still fish living in them. And there's also a chalkboard with the menu and drinks for the day on it. Tonight is silver shot night. So they're rail grain spears, silver shot.
Silver shot night.
Yeah.
Silver shot night should be illegal.
And the special is racehorse meatloaf.
Horse.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
So is there a server coming around, or do we just have to go to the bar?
No, eventually the Aarakocra, with the more traditional like red pirate or parrot feathers kinds of comes around.
So when they come around, I will just say like, excuse me, my friend. There's a giant beetle in my beer.
Oh, really? Well, normally we charge extra for that. You got lucky. What can I do for you?
I just stare him down for a second, and then like it's like we're playing a mental game of chicken with this server, and then I finally just dispel the minor illusion. It's like, can't pull one over on you.
Well, we see kind of tricks like that in here all the time.
Can you blame a man for trying?
Yes, actually, I think I can.
Fair. That's totally fair. Actually, that's
That's
fair.
fair.
Well, nice to meet you.
Going to just give my name out to everyone?
Well, when the occasion arises, unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, what brings you here? I don't think I've seen you in here before. What brings you in here? What can I get y'all?
I have to ask about the meatloaf. Was that racehorse that we would be eating, is that a winner or a loser?
I'll give you 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count.
I see. Have you got any vegetarian options then?
Oh yeah, we got this broccoli and pumpkin bake thing.
How much for that?
3 silver.
Fantastic. I'll give that a try.
Cool.
Make
Yeah,
that
I'll,
too.
yeah, I'll have that as well.
Emrys is like, yeah, I'm gonna eat that too.
Yeah.
I'll have one of those for me, but I'll take 2 of the meatloaves for this one. Pointing to Ollie.
Well, that thing is adorable. It's
Isn't it?
5 silver for the meatloaf. What
when
can I
when
get
they
y'all to
say
drink?
when they say it's adorable, I'll just whisper for now.
We get like a little like booster seat for Ollie.
I mean, you guys would have to build
A
one.
high
but
chair? Does he have a high chair?
He does not have a high chair. You guys did not build a high chair.
Yet.
All right, well,
Yet.
yet.
By the time you guys build one, it'll probably be too big for it.
Oh, for sure.
Wasn't that how it always is
Ooh.
with baby furniture?
That's
Yeah.
true. That
My
is
high chair's
true.
still down in the basement.
Mine's out in the shed. In the woodworking shed. Does it need to get refinished?
I think mine was given to a cousin's kid years ago or something
Oh.
like that.
I
I'd
don't
be
remember
surprised if mine
having
is
one.
still in the basement, but everything.
What,
There are a lot of things in my parents' basement.
How much is the beer?
Oh, that's also silver.
For a pint?
Yeah, for the rail stuff, yeah, it's a silver for the pint.
So 3
I'll take
silver for the
3.
meal and then a silver for a drink.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll take 3 pints.
3 pints? All right.
Just 1 for me.
Okay.
I'll start with 1.
I can always go back for more later.
Emrys will get 2. Yeah, any shots? It's special tonight.
Shots of what?
Oh, it's just the grain alcohol they make out in the meadows. We get it dirt cheap here.
I'm sure. I'll pass for now, but perhaps later.
All right. I'll be right back with your drinks, and food will be out in a little bit.
Thank you, and sorry, I don't believe we caught your name.
Oh yeah, sorry. My name's Theraval.
Farrowball, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, of course. Kind of saunters off towards the bar. Big tray, all the beers on it. Brings it back. Just kind of leaves the tray there.
Yeah, just grab a beer. So this Ani that we fought and killed last session,
Yes.
do we know that it's an Ani? Like, is that a type of creature that that any of us were familiar with?
Somebody rolled for it, and I don't remember if it was Emrys or Fair.
I think it was both.
It was both.
I remember I asked about it.
Yeah, they're Fair and Emrys kind of, if I'm remembering 100% correctly, kind of knew it as like a creature from like fairy tale, like nightmare stories to keep kids in line, not necessarily as like real things that exist and can try and kill you.
So, like, if we were to just start asking people, "Hey, do you know anything about an Ani?" It would be sort of equivalent to asking people
Do you
about the
know the Muffin Man?
boogeyman. Do you know, like, yeah, have you ever seen the boogeyman?
Yeah, pretty
It's
much.
like we probably wouldn't be taken seriously for asking around about that.
Probably.
Okay.
I'm gonna rephrase that. It is possible that that could happen.
Farsley would probably just be asking anyways. But
I will just sort of focus my attention on the other patrons in this bar, and I'm listening around to see if I can just catch like a word or two from any conversations that seem like they might be illicit. Like, who like, is anyone in here like plotting a crime or have some kind of connection to that whole underworld or something like that?
Make a perception check for me.
21.
Okay. You know, this is kind of a mixed company crowd. There's some people from the trade district and from the other more well-to-do neighborhoods here, as well as people from Fairytown. Um, they're give me 1 second. They're elves. There's some humans. Um, you've obviously been around Genasi, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
Tatiana.
yeah, so there's a couple water Genasi and a couple earth Genasi chilling and hanging out here. Some people wearing similar outfits without the armor and weapons to the people you saw out and about in Fairytown here. But nobody seems to be really having a conversation about committing a crime.
Is there a discreet hand signal or something in Thieves' Cant that I could do to just like get the attention of other people who know what that hand signal means? Like, you know what I kind of mean? Like some kind of like discreet signal that means like, hey, I'm new here and I'm looking for the criminal underworld.
My immediate thought is to say no, because you don't really know who does and who doesn't know Thieves' Cant. Even in the criminal underworld, there are people that don't.
Okay.
Um, make another perception check for me, please.
Passive 21.
Okay. A couple of the Genasi wearing these darker gray and like midnight blue clothes that seem to match like the armor color scheme from the leather you saw earlier on the streets. Seem to be talking about something they call the Brotherhood.
the Brotherhood of Steel? Really?
I never said steel.
Brotherhood of Steel, Brotherhood without
Thorium
banners.
Brotherhood.
Yeah.
What are
And
they
talking
saying
they're
about?
talking about
Okay.
selling they're talking about selling goods But judging by how they're talking about things, it doesn't sound like they're talking about, in a market on street level.
Okay. That's kind of what we're looking for. Like, if we are not getting a reward for this stolen stuff, we're looking for a fence, I assume.
Yeah.
I think I'll just take note of that and wait for like after we're done eating dinner, I'll just kind of wait for an opportune moment when things start to settle down a little bit when I can go try to like start a conversation with them. But
Okay.
we should eat first.
It doesn't take too long after you pick up on that for the food to come out. Okay. Y'all need any more drinks, or y'all good?
I'll take another bite.
All right.
One more for me as well.
Okay.
Another silver.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, what can you tell me about the fish you keep behind the bar?
Oh, there's just fish we
Are
caught
they
from
from
the
around here? Pets or
just fish we caught from the river, right off the canal.
Are they
interesting?
pets or mascots or tomorrow's breakfast?
Um, Mostly pets.
Okay.
Sometimes they die and we eat them. We eat them, don't serve them. And let's go when we have got some free time and fish and put new ones in.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's just something to be different. If y'all need anything else, flag me down.
There are a lot of different things in this town, it would seem. We were
Yeah.
admiring your lights on the way in.
Yeah, I don't even know how to describe it. Just they had them. They start putting the wires in and asked businesses if they wanted them, and everybody said yes and strung them up and keeps everything lit up pretty much all day, every day if we need it.
Well, I'd ask how it works, but I'm sure I wouldn't understand anyway.
Yeah,
You like it though.
they call it
It
power,
seems
but it seems like that just seems like a generic term for it.
power.
Yeah.
How long have you have since they've been installed?
I was a youngin' when they installed them.
Hmm.
So 10, 12 years.
And they've been working this whole time. They don't need to be refilled with anything.
Sometimes the glass bulb things that screw into the thing they call an outlet, sometimes they explode and you have to get new ones.
Ooh, well, that sounds fun.
Not if you're underneath them, but yeah.
And I'm just wondering how many people does it take to change one of those bulbs?
Typically two. Somebody to hold the chair and then somebody has to screw the light bulb in. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
See, I would have guessed one to mix the martini and one to call the electrician. I think But above game, that's an old joke of how many Princeton students does it take to change a light bulb? 2, one to mix the martini and one to call the electrician.
Jesus Christ.
They have them for every Ivy League school. Some of them are savage.
I kind of want to know the Harvard one now.
Well, Harvard's just one, but they don't really change it. They just stick it up in the socket, and then the whole world revolves around them.
I think I have heard that before.
Yeah.
They're not bad. They're not terribly expensive, but it's better than buying oil and having like deal with potential like fire and stuff.
Yes, I suppose so. What's a random explosion between friends?
Well, it's not so much an explosion. It just kind of like pop, and like glass kind of falls down from them, and it just kind of doesn't work anymore. Not like a boom.
So it's less like an explosion and more just like a surprise little glass shower.
Yeah. Yeah.
How delightful.
Yes, exactly. Very delightful.
When you said they put these in when you were a young person.
Yeah.
I'm sure that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, like 10 years.
I'm just wondering why have I never seen these anywhere else? It seems. Would you say it's successful here? It works well. People seem to like it.
It is, but like I forgot how they worded it. Not every place has like the ability to create enough like power to have a system like this.
Oh, like you mean are there like ley lines?
I don't think it uses
That you need to.
magic. I think they generate something. I don't know. Like not my interest really isn't in it.
What's your interest then?
Mostly making money and selling booze. Thanks for asking. But it's they generate something and it goes through the wires, and there's stations to make sure that every place gets the appropriate amount to keep these lights on. But yeah, they have a central generation station for whatever power they use, and not every place has the ability to have that for some reason or some other.
It sounds terribly complicated.
It does sound terribly complicated, but
to operate such a system, you'd need to be a powerful person indeed.
yeah. Well, I don't think they use magic to do it.
Who is responsible for maintaining these?
The city a lot of the time. The lines overhead, yeah, the city does that. They have a contract with somebody to do it.
But you don't know with whom.
I mean, no. Kind of tap the side of their beak.
I see.
Speaking of making money,
Yeah.
we seem to have come into possession of some items that we were hoping to sell while we're here.
Well, you got a couple options.
I'm listening.
The always option is just go across the bridge into the trade district.
We were hoping for a point of sale that's a little bit less out in the open.
Yeah, well, those are your other two options.
If you catch my meaning.
Yeah, we get that a lot. You got in that case, you got two options. Kind of gets quieter and kind of like leans in. So you can either sell them, go into the trade district, find one of the undergrounds. A lot of the people in the trade district run two shops. They run one above ground, above board, and they run one underground, which isn't above board.
There's an
I see.
underground?
We
And
saw some people going in and out of some of these underground areas on our
yeah,
way
so
in.
on this side of the river, the underground's run by the Brotherhood.
What's the Brotherhood?
Now, you don't want to know. And it's way more like black market kind of stuff than what's going on in the trade district. So you got to really know what you're doing.
How scandalous!
They got
Black,
They
black.
got all kinds of shit down there.
You don't say.
Oh yeah.
And how might if one were interested, not to say we are, but how would one go about making contact with this Brotherhood?
If
Just
you
wander down there and
somebody will make contact with you, I'm pretty sure, but they've got all kinds of crap down there. Shit I've never seen, like weapons, potions. They got people dealing in like some really weird animals down there too. It's nuts.
you just wander in off the street and someone will help you.
As long as you don't like look like you're a fucking cop and you're gonna snitch on them, yeah, they don't give a shit. They want to make money.
I've been accused of many things in my life, my friend, but looking like a cop has never been one of them. Unless I'm doing it on purpose and I'll disguise self to make myself look like a cop and then drop it a second later.
Eh. But yeah, no. So those are kind of like yeah options.
It's very helpful information. Thanks very much.
Probably doesn't leave you in too much trouble. It'll get you into too much
Oh, I have a feeling it's going to get us into exactly the right amount of trouble.
trouble. I think I said this before, but you guys are in exactly the right city.
It's good to know.
I think tomorrow's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, speaking of, you guys need rooms before we sell out?
Yes, that would be good. I think. Fair, did you want to share again?
Sure.
Now let me be back. See, let me ask the sibling what we got left before we go make any deals. I'll be right back. So, I'm kind of come back a minute later, holding a key, on like a wood block. Yeah, we only got the one bunk room left. Apparently, a bunch of drunk people decided to stay here.
How many beds?
Oh, it's got like 9 bunks in it,
Ah, okay.
or like
Well,
four bunk beds. So eight. Is that the math on that?
it sounds like more than enough for us.
Yeah, I know it's not ideal. Don't tell the other one I did. This is half price. I'll give you guys the room for 8 silver. Just because I know it's not probably what you guys were hoping for. But you seem like not respectable folk, but like decent
Entertaining
people.
ones?
Decent people.
I'll take it.
The type that's not gonna try and steal from the steal from us under night.
Wait, you have that happen?
Oh yeah, people try and get into the back room and take money from the lockbox all the fucking time.
Wow.
Puts the key down on the table.
No, I'm not that kind of asshole. I prefer to be looking someone in the face when I'm taking their money. And I'll hand over a gold for the room.
Okay.
Now my internet's freaking out.
Yeah, mine was earlier.
There we go. Okay. A gold.
Yeah, you got you guys good luck. Any last round of drinks or
I think I'm all right for now. Thank you.
Alright. Is that the asshole cat or the other one?
Neither. This
oh.
is the brown one.
I can only see like a shape moving because of the filter. I can't see the color of it.
It's Fifi. Asshole cat will never like just chill on me.
Got it. I saw like a paw and that was it because of your background.
She keeps sticking her claws in the side of my neck, and I'm like, can you not?
Trying to kill you. That's what cats do. Yeah. Anybody else have anything they want to do this evening?
I'm gonna go see if I can get into a conversation with the people who were talking about the Brotherhood earlier. Or the people who were talking about selling goods.
I'm going to take Ollie up to the room, and I'm going to try to teach him some kind of like sign language, I guess, just for simple stuff like hungry or danger.
Okay. As you get up to go, Emerus will like grab touch your arm and like cast guidance on you for one roll. So you have that for a minute.
Okay.
No, for Dietrich.
Oh.
Oh, for me. Okay.
Yeah. Roll animal handling, and I'll get back to you in a second. Yeah, you can the two Genasi.
Yeah.
Overheard.
And I don't want to like interrupt them, but like when there's an opening where it seems like they'd be receptive to talking to someone new, I'll go up and introduce myself.
Okay. They're kind of mostly talking about other people they're seeing in the bar and kind of having like one of those people watching moments. Fairly drunk. They kind of see you approach the table and kind of stop their conversation and like finish their beers kind of look at you.
Good evening, gentlemen. Do you mind if I sit?
Depends on what you want.
Well, the
There's
name's
all
Di-
kinds here.
the name's Dietrich Balthazar, formerly of Roguewater. I couldn't help, if you'll forgive me, I'm a bit new here. I couldn't help overhearing some conversation earlier about selling goods and the Brotherhood. I gather that that's where you go to find things around here.
That's one way of looking at it.
What's another?
They find what they want.
Hmm.
And they've been known to just take it.
Well, some associates of mine have recently come into possession of some stolen property. Not stolen by them, but we relieved the thieves of this property, and we were hoping to place it into the stream of commerce so that it might make its way to whoever needs it.
Interesting.
Is that something this brotherhood does?
Unless it's goods that are usable, you'd be better off going across the bridge. If you got some kind of like weapons or gear you're holding on to, rare potions, some animals, then underground's your best bet.
All right, we'll take that under advisement.
That's a big word.
I suppose it is sort of big. So, when gentlemen such as yourselves are looking for some recreation in places that aren't quite so legitimate as this one, where might you go?
Well, if you're looking for legitimate entertainment, the other one's finally speaking now. The racetrack up in the stairs is where everybody goes. They race 3 days a week.
Gambling, I assume?
Yeah, you can only bet on the horses, but a lot of else stuff goes on.
Stuff like, and I'll flourish a playing card.
Yeah, sometimes.
And what about less legitimate?
Not a lot in the town. You can get invited some, I know. And it kind of like elbows him to stop talking about it. Oh, yeah, you're right.
I'll place a gold piece on the table and slide it across the table and just ask, what was that about getting invited?
Turn that into 10 shots and I might tell you.
It's what, a nickel shot? So that's 5 gold? Or no,
It's
silver
silver
shot.
shots, so it's 10 shots.
That already is 10 shots. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll flag a server over and get 10 shots.
Yeah.
for my gold piece.
Cerebral will kind of look at you and look at them, look at bring back a tray. Some of the more like well-to-do people that don't want to act like they're involved in all of it do some backroom poker games here, but they're like invite only and super secret. Like we only know about them because like they get like they pay some of the less reputable people to run security for it.
High stakes, I assume.
Oh yeah, big time.
It sounds like a room I need to be in.
The other one will be, yeah, there is some, but it's not just money. They bet all kinds of shit.
Like what?
Oh man, let me think back to like the last game. There was some really nutty stuff. Somebody bet. He's drunk. He's trying to remember the buff game. What was it the last game, or was it 2 games ago we got it? This guy bet something he called a potion of possibility. It was worth like 5,000 gold. One of the richer folks, from up in East District, at the last game, bet an animal from his menagerie. What the fuck was it? I don't remember what it was. It's fucking weird though. Worth like 10,000 gold. It gets nuts, dude.
You certainly have my attention.
But yeah, that's how we know they happen.
Any idea how one gets into one of these games?
It's mostly the high society types.
Know the right people and things like
Exactly.
that?
Exactly.
Well, gentlemen, I've found that I'm pretty good at knowing the right people.
Maybe we'll see you at the next one we guard then.
Uh, quite possibly. I also seem to be very good at knowing the wrong people as well. It's not a smart, heat-seeking whatever. I just kind of know people.
Yeah, you seem like the type, especially if you came from Roguewater.
Oh, yes,
That's
for
them pirate place across the bay.
Yar, matey.
Funny guy. Maybe we'll see you around. Thank you for the shots.
Thanks for
It's
your time.
much
And
appreciated.
so I'll say my goodbyes and go back to our table and tell everybody about like, okay, want to sell the stolen stuff, we're probably going across the river. If we want to sell like the Ani's weapons and possibly the head, that's some shit we could do with the Brotherhood, probably.
By the way, everybody has a D8 of inspiration.
Ooh, thank you, Jess.
Thank you.
Crazy bear.
Okay.
And you'll see like Dietrich will come by and he'll tell you this about like fencing our items and where we might go for the different stuff. But you can also definitely see that he's practically salivating at the idea of these high stakes poker games.
You also tell us about the high stakes poker games, or just
I think I probably would if you asked me like what's going on, because like I'm not doing a very good job hiding that I'm like excited about something.
yeah.
No, apparently we have some back room, very high stakes, very interesting poker games here. Apparently it's invite only. One needs to know the right people and probably find some, one of the filthy, stinking rich high society types in this town to bankroll them. But it is hard to say no.
Interesting. Well, I suppose we could keep an ear out for what it takes to get it and see what they have.
Indeed. I think I agree with Farzu. Tomorrow is going to be a very interesting day.
Yep.
Would you roll on the animal handling check?
21.
And Ollie seems more interested in like nibbling on your hands and is interested like when you make the gestures rather than doing them himself.
Yeah, it seems about right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Of course. All right. With that, is there anything else anybody wants to do before you all take your long rest?
I'll keep reading, I guess. How much left do I have? How much more do I have left in the Rise of Odoron book before I move on to the second one?
Hold up, give me a second. I have to find where I put all the book information. Probably just like another couple chapters in it.
Okay, try and finish that out.
And I think when we get up to the room, Dietrich will pull out the wand of sending and he'll kind of sigh and say, like, I suppose I've been putting this off for too long. And he'll start using charges of the wand of sending, using all 4 charges if he has to. And he's just saying, hi, it's been a while. We should probably talk. Lucius is dead. And then he will go on and giving as much detail as he can in 100 words total to Henrietta about everything that's happened. Just kind of filling her in. Like, and at the end, it's like, anyway, how are you? But I didn't like write out 100 words worth of everything he would tell
Yeah, I
her
would
or
say it would
anything like
probably
that.
only take about 75.
Okay.
So
1
3
charge left.
sendings. Yeah.
And I get a D4 charges back in the morning, so
Yeah.
but it occurred to me during our 2-week hiatus that we never told Henrietta that Lucius died, and we should probably do that. That seems polite.
I've just been sitting here going, are they ever gonna tell her? Are we just okay? Okay.
Yes. Where did you leave off in the Rise of Odoron book?
Period of turmoil between the city-states, and the mages got the upper hand.
Okay. Yeah. So, to finish off the Rise of Odoron and to summarize it, the mages essentially got the upper hand and stopped the war between the other city states, and everything kind of went back to the status quo between all of the city states on the continent of Odoron. Knowing that if they started anything, that the mages would intercede in said conflict, and so there was a tumultuous period of peace on the continent.
Okay, so the mages never directly took control of any of the countries, but just it was sort of implied that they were in charge.
In this book, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I rolled a 3 on the D4, so we'll be at full charges on the wand tomorrow.
Cool. Emrys will make 2 more vials of acid.
When I'm done with that book, I'll hand it off to Farzu if he wants to read it.
Okay.
Since you can also read it now.
Yeah, might as well read it too.
Okay.
2 of us.
Yeah. So over like 2 or 3 periods of you reading it, you'd have all the same information that Fair has from the book.
Okay.
All right. I think that about wraps it up.
I've got to say, it was a little bit more fun when it was Lucius reading porn every night.
Now it's just a bunch of nerds reading about ancient history.
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you know if any of the other books have anything of that sort in it.
Please do.
Might be interesting to know what they were into in Odoron.
Have
From
you
a
learned any?
purely historical perspective.
Purely historical, of course. A very old stuff. Um, have you learned anything interesting?
Just the really history of the continent of it, of Odoron. It was divided into city-states, and turmoil broke out between them, but there was a group of very powerful mages who sort of imposed peace upon the people. Sounds like there
Ah,
were.
yes, imposing peace. Isn't that what every warmonger says they're doing?
Yes, that's sort of what I gathered from it as well.
Oh, I'm not trying to start a war. I'm just forcibly imposing peace.
Well, it sounds like they did end open conflict, but not necessarily in a way that I imagine the rulers of the city-states were left quite in charge of their own nations. So, on to the next book tomorrow night, I suppose.
Sounds like a plan.
And then I still have the remainder of Travarin's notebook, his real notebook, the one we found in the Pillar of Light, and then the one that I had to get from you, which I haven't actually started yet, and I'm wondering now what's in that. If it's just a copy of his notes or if it's something else.
I suppose it's only a matter of time before we're going to have to deal with all of this, isn't it?
Yes, because I'm not going to stop reading, so eventually I will reach the end of it.
Oh no, that's. I just meant like not reading.
Oh, it will come back to
It's,
us, you mean?
they're. It's only a matter of time, I suppose. The Lord of the Nine Hells may have lost his vessel, but I I have a feeling he's not done with us.
I doubt he would give up so easily.
Well, that's a thought that definitely won't fester right before bed. Good night, I suppose.
Good night.
So, what time of day is it where Henrietta is when she's getting all of this information from Dietrich and Red?
Because it's 10 p.m. right now, or it's actually midnight right now.
Oh, shit,
That's
it's
the in.
probably like 3 in the morning her time. Shit.
Yeah, it's about 4 o'clock in the morning when these messages. 4:30, probably 5 o'clock in the morning when the messages wake you up.
I think Dietrich is definitely not concerned about that because he's 100% sure it's like 7 p.m. her time.
Right. I'm
Because
just like,
he's doing the time zones
He forgets that
backwards.
the international date line is in the middle of the fucking ocean, and you're like,
Like no,
yeah,
it's Ilarion. It's like 4 hours behind us. Obviously.
that's like actually it's 4 hour. Actually, no, it'd be 6 a.m. in the morning. So Henrietta might be up.
oh, that that was a lot, Dietrich. Um, sorry, I'm just waking up. Okay, so Lucius vessel problem kind of solved, maybe. That's good news. We've been working on stuff here for the oh fuck, what do we call it? We don't call it the calamity for reasons. The other thing.
Devastation.
Yeah, that word. We've been looking up that devastation stuff you asked about, and Frank's been just, having a good old time. Wanting to go fight stuff, so he's just like scaring people out and going and drinking at the tavern and getting all of his information back to me. It's an interesting time.
Frank has become the Phantom of the Library.
Yes, because we definitely can't say calamity, but there's nothing wrong with saying that we're protecting the world from devastation.
You're welcome.
I will definitely update the prince, the desk prince about these things. And yeah, that's too bad about Lucius, but I suppose that's probably in everybody's best interest. That's all you get from her. I mean, that was a lot, so.
I used like just two. Anyhow.
Oh, the boats. Those are okay. I've heard rumors about boats like that. So they exist. That's good to know. I will make notes. There we go.
Cool.
Cool. And that's where we'll take our break. So you're back here in a few minutes.
Long rest buttons.
Yes, long
I
rest
assume?
button.
I
Yep.
would just do that before I take a break.
back. Hi. Hello. As you all wake up the next morning, the day is yours. What would you like to do?
Breakfast.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay. You guys gotta go downstairs and do breakfast, I imagine?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or see what there is.
Mm-hmm. See what the crowd down there looks like in the morning.
A lot of other drunkards from last night. Not a not a whole lot of chit chatter going on. Just mostly people ordering breakfast and what is it called? Hair of the dog drinks, basically.
What's for breakfast?
They have on the chalkboard here. Um, they've got fried eggs and toast, and then they've got egg, bacon, and cheese sandwiches.
What kinds of eggs? Eggs from what manner of creature?
Does not specify.
Okay. Looking at the other tables, how big are the eggs?
Not chickens, but not something fucking weird.
Okay.
I'll
Try
have
the
a
egg.
bacon, egg, and cheese.
Yeah, try the egg sandwich.
Okay. And it's 5 silver for the sandwich. Okay.
So what someone can refresh me. So the loot that we took from the Ani, we've got the wagon full of like people's random stolen knickknacks. And what did we take from him? We had the glaive and what else?
Remember, he had a bunch of animal skulls.
The stuff wasn't very worth much.
No.
It was weird.
Like his weapon wasn't worth much?
No.
No,
Like he had like
they all had
animal
cool
skulls and
stuff.
stuff that didn't seem to be worth very much.
Oh yeah. No, I'm just thinking like what like gear did we take off of him? Yeah, the glaive, and was that it?
Yes.
I got a whole bunch of crossbows.
Well, assuming nobody wants the weapon we took off of him, I think we can probably try selling that to the Brotherhood. And they might also be interested in the head, possibly. But I think the other things, you know, skulls, the knickknacks, the wagon full of property should probably be something we sell across the river. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? Well, then I suppose while we're over on this side of the river, our first task could be to find the Brotherhood. That seems to make sense, and the way our acquaintances described it last night, it didn't seem that difficult to do.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Can we get a sense of around how much we think the glaive is worth? So we can kind of tell how good a price we're getting.
Anybody have that spell?
Which one?
Identify?
I do.
It's not identify. There is a spell that tells you the price in 5e.
Really?
Yep.
I not I
No, like appraisal abilities.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I didn't know that was a spell. What spell is it?
I'm looking it up because I actually think it might. I think I know what book it's from. So I don't actually think it's in 5e. Give me a second.
I did the problematic thing of bringing her up here, and now she's just gonna sit here next to me and go pet me the whole fucking time.
Yeah, I think it's from. I can't find it, but I think it's from Acquisitions Incorporated actually.
No, Acquisitions Incorporated has the distort
Stored. Oh,
values.
it's just to
You can
distort
make
the
something
value.
look more valuable
Okay.
than it is to try to sell it for
Oh,
more
okay.
than it's worth.
I thought they had
But
I also thought they had a first level spell that told you the value of it. You don't know, but
no, they don't.
it's non magical, but it like if you were to pick it up and like pull it out, it changes size whoever holds it. So like it has to have some value to it.
So it's not magical. There's some kind of magical essence to it, but
Yeah.
it didn't seem
Yeah,
like
so
it.
like what
Just
happens if with just detect magic
Yeah.
and identify?
No, that distort value spell is something I considered for Dietrich when I was making him, and I just decided like, that's gonna be too fucking weird. That's not gonna come up often enough.
I had that on Olivia. In
Well,
case.
guess what?
Then I'll just,
Wanna come
I'll
up.
just take I'll just take comprehend languages because I'm sure that won't come up.
God, it's kind of hard, but make a, I would say like investigation check on it.
25.
Okay. It's got to be worth like at least a couple hundred gold. Like you've seen in regular weapon markets, like regular glaives selling for like 50 easily. So like
Okay.
it's got to be worth a couple hundred.
Okay. Does it have any like unique markers on it?
No.
Like, I don't know if a bladesmith would sign the blade of something like that, but
No.
okay. Okay. I will let everyone else know my assessment of it.
Then how about the head? Do you know what an Ani head is going for these days, Fair?
Is it a fair price?
Boo.
Well, I mean, considering I didn't think they were real until one of them jumped out from behind a rock and tried to kill us, I couldn't guess.
Is the Ani head, is that something that is like that's recognizably an Ani head? Like something like equivalent to like if we saw a unicorn like IRL, like I didn't think that was real, but I know exactly what this is. Or is it like that's just like a large head? It could be anything.
Um. Give me a
Or
second.
like,
I actually got a work question at
no
10:55 at
worries.
night.
I have cat hair up my nose. Can't imagine how that happened.
Actually, I feel like I should tell this story on stream because it's actually kind of really, really funny. So like you can get roles on the Facebook group that I'm in for my civic association. So I have the real estate tag, and somebody messaged me a absolute insane question about what can be disclosed when you buy a property. Because they believe their house is haunted. So they want to know if somebody died in it, which is not required to be disclosed in Virginia.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, nope, that is not required to be disclosed. So you probably can't find out. You can see previous owners and look up death records in Virginia, though, so have fun. Anywho, what was the question? Ani
So
heads.
like with
Unicorns.
an Ani head. Well, so like yeah. even though it's not necessarily common knowledge that they are real, would it be recognizable? Like, oh, I didn't know that was real, but here I am looking at it.
Yes.
Versus like, or does it just look like a big head?
It is fairly recognizable because they do have a fairly odd skin color and skin type, in that it's very thick like leather, but it's blue and gray, like a gray blue. So yeah, yeah, it'd be recognizable.
I could fetch something, possibly. But at any rate, I think you should probably head out there, find one of these underground entrances.
Sounds good. Maybe don't mention the head until we get maybe a bit of an idea what the severed head market looks like down there.
Certainly. We don't want to sell it to just anyone. Only the most discerning head collectors.
$60.
69. Wait, what?
Level 60.
Oh,
Grats. Yeah. So what order do you guys want to do this in? What's going to be the process?
I think are we all going down to like find the Brotherhood?
Yeah, I guess just start by venturing down. There were like the little shacks you said between some of the buildings.
Yep.
Yeah, just head toward one of those and go down and see what we find.
Okay.
Yeah, start there.
This staircase goes down pretty far. And it's very easy. There's nobody guarding it at this hour. They seem to guard it at night. There's a smell of dampness as you go down, because you realize as you go down probably about the fifth or sixth flight of stairs, this is under the river too. You walk in and you walk out of the staircase, and it is lit up by a combination of the electrical light, but there's also oil lamps and things on the wall, because they don't want to steal, I guess, too much of the electricity. There are side rooms and doors. There are full buildings with roofs and stuff underground here. It is buzzing. There's kind of like an edge, and if you look over it, there's like 3 stories to this place. This is essentially an entire second city underneath this.
Well, I don't know what I was expecting, but this is more.
So does it look like
Like,
the Drow Undercity, like Mirabet, where I grew up?
No, this is built out. This isn't carved out of the stone like the Drow Undercity, because in like the Drow Undercity, everything is carved out of this singular piece of stone,
Mm-hmm.
including all of the houses. It's considered trashy if your house isn't carved out of the same piece of stone that the cavern is. So if you build and extend onto the house, it's like that. This is thrown together over years and built on top of it in layers. You don't know how it started. You can't see how it started or whatever, but it is partially carved out, partially built
Okay.
up and everything. So no, it is not like the Drow Underground. It's also way brighter too.
Mm-hmm. Do we attract any notice, like people staring at us as we walk in?
Passive perception, Emerus, Dietrich, and Fair, so 17 or higher. Yeah, the people clocked you as new and are side-eyeing and watching what you're doing from the moment you came off that staircase.
Okay.
What kinds of like businesses do we see down here? Like, what are people doing?
There's literally like when you guys walk off, there's literally a picnic table, like a wooden table you would see for like a picnic table. And there's this guy sitting on the bench behind it, and he has all sorts of like knives and stuff stabbed into it, and is trying to sell them. There's people selling food. There's people selling whole kegs of like liquor and beer. There's different signs for different apothecaries and potion shops. Um, different signs selling different types of like weaponry. Like there's a gunsmith down here.
So the guy at the picnic table, when we come in, I'll just hello friend, are you only here to sell or are you also looking to buy?
Depends on what you got. I buy and sell in, as you can see, knives from all over. This one's
Indeed,
from the north, this one's a Kiris. This one's a Bowie hunting knife of dwarven make.
do you buy anything else other than weapons?
I'm known to dabble in buying and selling information.
What sort of information?
It depends on what sort of information you need.
Good to know. We might stop back here on our way out. Could you tell us where else do people go to buy and sell things? And what sorts of things are bought and sold?
You can think it, you can buy it down here. Or sell it if you've got it.
Can I sell these? And I'll hold out
Why
a
don't w-
crossbow.
why don't I give you a
Oh.
category and you can tell me where to go where I might find merchants of that category of item.
Sounds like a deal.
Body parts of very rare, very fantastical creatures.
Most of the people down here deal in alive, fantastical creatures. There are some shops that sell, let me think about that for a second. What's it called when you preserve them?
Oh, like the shrunken heads.
Taxidermy.
Oh, taxidermy.
Mummification.
Yeah, taxidermy mummification. There are a couple oddities and apothecary like shops that deal in that sort of thing. Not on this floor. You got to go down one more level.
There's more?
Yeah,
Ooh, how deep are we talking, my friend?
I got an idea.
Ooh.
And weapons. From your wares, I assume that's something you're interested in.
Yeah, we got a across the chasm. Don't worry, the wood planks are fine. We replace them every so often. Um, there's a guy that deals in the mundane kind of stuff.
And what about the less mundane kind of stuff?
Well, that will cost you.
And what if we're selling?
Alright, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Um, there's a weird little person down like across the chasm and like 2 streets down. Named Traban, who deals in kind of like not magical, but like kind of magical goods.
Traban.
Traban.
Good to know. Thanks for your help.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I'll sort of point everybody in that direction and we'll head off on our way. And as soon as we're kind of out of earshot, I'll say, like, well, for somebody who says he deals in information, he was certainly willing to part with information free of charge fairly easily.
First taste is always free.
Or maybe that's why he's got a picnic table instead of a shop.
That's what I was thinking.
Makes a fine welcoming committee, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose so, but I don't think I'd want to do business with someone that loose-lipped. So can we locate Traban?
Yes.
How about we hit the other guy first? Across the way. We got all these crossbows to sell. They're not magical.
Okay, I was gonna try to sell the glaive, but yeah, we can do that first if you want.
It would be on the way.
It is in fact on the way.
Sure.
I will say the bridge people are taking across this chasm that goes all the way down to the 3rd level, which is about 85 feet down, is literally just like wood planks that are bolted into like the support structures across. Nobody seems to mind it though, even though it's janky as hell. Yeah, you're able to find it the more mundane of the weapon shops fairly easily.
Hello there.
What can I do you for?
Interested in some crossbows?
You see this person come out from behind like the counter. Older Earth Genasi. Kind of like some cracked gem skin. I'm always interested in things.
I got 5.
What were you hoping to get for these light crossbows?
150.
For 4 or 5?
5. And 60 bolts.
Ooh. How much did you say again?
I'll
150.
at that moment when he asks how much did you say again, I'll try to make eye contact with Farzu and just go like this.
200.
Ugh. If they were brand new. Actually, can I see one if you don't mind?
Here.
If these were brand new, I could sell them for 25 gold apiece, so 200 would seem slightly ridiculous. What about the crossbow bolts?
Never used.
They are also made of a singular piece of metal, which does make them worth a little bit more than the ones that are essentially soldered together, so that is good. But if they were new, and these seem to be fairly worn, I could get to 25 apiece. Probably have to sell these for 15, maybe 18. I will give you 60 for the crossbows if they're all in the same condition. I know crossbow bolts, a bundle is about a gold, but those are the crappy ones. I can sell these probably for 2 gold a bundle. So I'll give you 1 gold, 5 silver for each. So I'll round up and say 66 even.
66.
Yes.
How about 90?
A person has to make money to eat.
Well, that's what I need to sell this for, to eat.
How about we say 70 even? And I'll basically eat the cost of the crossbow bolts.
There.
Deal?
Deal.
Excellent.
That's 14 each if we're splitting it up.
Mhm.
So remember 14 for Emrys too. Right.
Yes. I have his sheet open for that exact reason. Is there anything else you were interested in selling, perhaps?
Just out of curiosity, how much would you pay for this? Hold up the bad news.
I do not deal in firearms.
You know someone who does?
There are several that do down here. Any of them would give you a fair-ish price if you acquired it above board. I would say maybe even sell it over in the trade district. You might get a better price.
Well, thank you.
They do not really see them very often, besides on people's hips over there. They might be willing to overpay.
The underground or the above ground?
Above ground.
Good to know.
Down here, everyone and their mother is packing.
I just wish I could shoot it. Not a good aim with this thing.
They're not incredibly difficult to learn.
Hmm. Anywhere that I could practice using it?
I suggest far away from people in case it misfires.
But that's just the fun of it, though.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, have a good one. Unless any of you want anything.
Enjoy the rest of your time down here. Good luck, I suppose, with that gun of yours.
Thanks.
And go to Treban.
Yes. Couple streets over. Because they're not labeled like up on the surface here, but there are streets and alleys and things underneath here. And you eventually find Trabant's, and it's just a plain metal door with like letters hammered into it. It says Trabant's. Blink and you miss it kind of place. And inside there is a person kind of dusting some shelves off. Half human, half something else. A shifter stuck in their transformed place. Several scars where fur doesn't grow anymore on their body. Kind of turns around when you enter. Greetings. How can I help you?
Treban, I presume.
Yes, this is my place.
I look around the place.
It is. There is a lot of stuff here. All probably lesser magical in terms of quality, but still nonetheless impressive.
I've got something to sell if you're interested.
It's entirely possible. I have been known to dabble in buying goods as well as selling them.
We've come into possession of a rather impressive weapon that was wielded by a very rare creature.
Interesting.
I'll sort of, I'm not sure who's carrying the glaive right now or if it's in the bag of holding, but I'll just sort of gesture to whoever's carrying it to get
If
it out.
not in the bag of holding. Oh, yes, it is. Sorry. It's in notes. It's not in the actual bag on the inventory.
Oh, right, yeah, because you hadn't
Yeah,
made it yet.
No. It's in his notes section because it doesn't exist as an item in 5e.
Cool.
For some reason. It seems to be a mundane glaive.
It certainly seems that way, doesn't it? But look closer. You see, if I hold it, it looks like this, and it's about this big. But when my gnome friend here holds it, and I'll hand it to Farzu, and what happens?
Oh, it shrinks down to Farzu's size if he takes it.
We took it from a creature that was quite a bit larger than us. And it was, well, quite huge when we were dodging its blows.
Giggity.
And I'll put it back on the table.
Bon will kind of look around, make sure there's nobody else in the shop. Invisible mage hand kind of closes the door. I'm very intrigued about where you got this item now.
Would you like to meet him?
Probably not.
Oh, there's no harm in saying hello.
The less I know, the better, let me put it that way.
Understood.
May I inquire where you got this?
We took it from a rather large creature that was trying to kill us.
I
South of town away.
mean, locate, thank you.
South of town a ways.
Interesting. Let me guess. Begin. Don't show me. Large creature appeared human, and then when struck with danger, appeared large, blue, and gray.
You're certainly getting warmer.
An Ani.
That's our understanding.
Yes.
You're familiar with these creatures.
There are several that work for the Brotherhood.
So this was an Ani who worked here.
Possibly.
I mean, we never stopped to ask for his employment papers. We just were too busy trying to get him to stop killing us.
Hmm.
Or stop trying.
Interesting.
At any rate, we'd be happy to return his effects to the Brotherhood if that's who he was working for a price.
I am kind of glad you came to me, seeing as I do not work directly for them. So that I can tell you that would be very unwise. The price for returning those effects would probably be your demise. They
Understood.
do not take the death of their kin lightly.
Kin? There's more Anis down here?
I do not know the exact amount that work for the Brotherhood, but yes, there probably are very several of them.
That's good information to know. We certainly didn't know that this particular Ani was, well, mobbed up, so to speak.
It's entirely possible he was leaving the Brotherhood heading south and just happened to think he was going to get another easy score when he came across you.
I imagine that's what he thought. We do kind of look like a ragtag band of easy marks, but I can assure you, just as he found out firsthand, we're somewhat more than that.
Good to know on my end.
At any rate, if selling these particular effects is personally offensive in this city, we'd be happy to just put them away and sell them somewhere else.
I will say it like this. To make it a little bit easier, I can buy it from you, probably not for much. Say that a member of the Brotherhood came in and drunkenly sold it to me one evening so they could afford their tab and to continue drinking. If you do me a favor.
What's the favor?
And that is whatever you have of his body, you fucking burn it.
And why should we do that?
Um,
It seems to me like we could just keep it out of sight the rest of the time we're here and sell it to some other collector in some other city. I'm not generally in the habit of burning things that could be valuable to me.
my thoughts on the matter is that whatever you think it's worth may not be its exact worth.
What
And
does
they're
the
very
rest of the shop look like? How big is it in here? Sorry.
It's kind of like a couple rows of just like pure weapon racks and like armor racks and things.
Okay. Can you like see over them?
Yeah, you can see the entire shop here.
Okay.
Suppose I do agree to burn the part of his body that we have left. What kind of price would you give me for the weapon?
This is difficult because for a multitude of reasons, um, I can't say much because Anis are not necessarily intelligent, as you saw. But I will say
You said it, not me.
this is true. But I will say that um, brand new, magically enchanted, they go for about. Last time I saw one even being sold new, made by an Ani blacksmith, probably decades ago, was about 200 gold. So I imagine. One would probably want, and I do mean an Ani, would probably not take. I'd probably think it'd be worth about 120 gold.
So 120 gold, and I'll burn the body.
Yes.
I suppose that seems adequate. But what assurances do we have that you won't just turn around and rat us out to the Brotherhood.
Someone does not stay alive down here for as long as I have by becoming a snitch.
That's what I like to hear. Well, I think you've got yourself a deal then. Would you like us to burn it here in front of you or elsewhere?
I have my welding fire in the back, but I will stay up front so I do not see it. More plausible deniability on my end.
Understood. Could you point out where this welding fire is?
Oh, if you just go through that door there, you will see the furnace that I do all of my welding and smithing in here to repair things.
Yeah, I'll head through there and find the furnace.
Okay. What is
If you
100?
don't mind, I'll stay inside the shop and keep browsing.
Okay. It's 24 gold each, right?
Yep. 24.
There are some interesting items here. A solid iron blowgun, and what looks like to be a semi-magical sledgehammer.
And also, like, above game, I'm definitely, like, keeping an eye on him, too.
He is just kind of checking all of the edges and how this glaive was put together to do what it is as soon as it's in his hands and he's paid the gold.
Okay.
Not really interested in anything going on.
Yeah. And I think I'm I'm certainly thinking about because this furnace is just in another room.
Yes.
So I'm certainly thinking about just keeping the head and then coming back after a few minutes and saying I did it. But then I'm probably thinking about what he said about the price maybe not what you think, and I just start thinking like this thing's probably like cursed or something. I better just get rid of it. And I'll just toss it in the fire.
Okay. It takes a minute, but once it lights, it burns fast. Fun fact, they have sulfur in their skin. It smells awful.
So I think when I come back, he would catch a whiff of the sulfur and
Oh,
know
yeah.
that it was real and it was done.
Yep. Much appreciated. Is there anything else I can assist you all with?
I wouldn't mind just browsing for a moment, if you don't mind.
Of course.
What kind of bows do you have?
I don't have much in the way of archery. This is not really my specialty.
Do you know down here about where to look? Like who would have bows, maybe?
There are several people that specialize in it. I would not know exactly where to start. Most places have signs up with photos on it. Not a lot of people, or rather, carvings of what they sell. Most people here do not really particularly read.
I'm just gonna.
That's
Yep. So I'm just gonna look around at the armor,
Yeah.
see what's there.
There is some what looks to be mithril plate. There is also this very odd colored armor. You've never seen this type of metal before. At the right angle, the armor appears red. The metal appears red, and then from other angles, it appears blue, but like a deeper, darker blue than mithril.
What kind of armor is it?
It's a breastplate.
Fair.
Yes? Were you actually calling my name, or
Yeah. Yes. No.
this time?
This time I was. Do you have any idea what this is?
Would I know?
Fair, you would not.
Okay.
Barzu, make a history check.
Above game, I was just asking one of you for an identify spell. But
20.
either way.
20.
Oh, if you can tell without.
No idea. Slips your... You have no idea. It is very odd.
Cast identify.
Okay. As you start to cast it, I could tell you what that is if you were interested in acquiring it.
Yes. What is it?
It is a metal alloy that comes from... the name slips my mind at this current moment. I believe it comes from Kelmoldir up to the north. The dwarves call it Mizium. Above game,
Yeah. Above game, I'm looking it up right
it
now.
is adamantium armor, but also when you make a strength or constitution saving throw, if you fail, you only take half damage, and on a save, you take none.
I'm still casting identify because I can.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look
It
at
really
everything
is.
in
It really is a
the-
Mizium armor breastplate.
Okay, but it's not like a +1.
It is not a +1. It is just adamantium with a bonus effective
Yeah.
saves.
So essentially, my AC would go down by 1, but I'd be immune to crits, and
Con saves
I
would
have
not
I
be.
strength and con saves. Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting. No, yeah, that's an interesting choice. I'm gonna think about that above game for a minute.
I do have an you I never caught any of your names, but the one who inquired about archery and bows.
Yes.
Something did come through my shop that might interest you. I was looking for it behind the counter, and he pulls out this immaculately crafted elven arrow and puts it up onto the table.
What's it do?
I have been told that it is an arrow of returning. And that's as long as you're outside of any source of anti-magic field. As soon as it hits your target, it will return to the bow it was fired from.
Interesting. How much for it?
The price I paid, I could not part with it for less than 280 gold.
Ideally, I'd like 2 of them since I usually shoot 2 at a time, but obviously you don't have 2.
They are. Unfortunately, this is the only one I've ever come across. They seem to be somewhat rare.
You said 280?
Yes.
I can do that, yeah.
All right.
This armor,
Yes.
how much do you want for it?
I have been sitting on it for a little bit now. I would be willing to part with it for, let's say, 975 gold.
And what if I were to sell you the armor that I'm currently wearing? And I'll start to take it off so you can inspect it.
So you're going to trade that in. He starts to inspect it, pulls out an
Yeah, I'll,
eyepiece, and looks at it.
I'll make the trade.
I could probably sell this. I will be upfront with you, since you are upfront with me about everything. I could probably sell this in my shop for about 525, but to make a profit on it, I would probably have to acquire it for no more than 440 gold. You'll probably haggle me down 25 or so gold, so just want to say 500.
Sure. So 475 then for the new armor,
No,
and I'll
500 plus your
oh five
armor.
oh the armor and 500 for the new. Yeah,
Yes.
that sounds good to me.
That's only about 940, which means I do make money on it, which is what we all want, don't we?
No, it's what we all want, certainly.
So what's that arrow called? Because I'm not finding it.
It does not exist on D&D Beyond. It's from a supplement, so I have to add it.
Okay, that would explain why I can't find it. I'm like, am I just dumb today or what? No,
Oh,
okay,
yes.
cool.
Well, I will add the arrow of returning to your inventory when I make it.
Okay.
And I have already taken care of my thing.
Yes, and it will also save you some money on arrows, too.
Right.
How quick is the return?
End of
It's at it. Yeah, end of turn.
It's at the end of
Or-
your turn.
Oh,
So, Nymeria will use half as many arrows. Which is a pretty good deal. Is there anything else in my shop that interests you?
I
Look at like the short swords and rapiers.
Okay.
While they're doing that, Nymeria's gonna go like mosey around outside and look for other places that are advertising that they're selling bows.
Okay.
I'll, I'll stay to look at short swords and rapiers if it's fair. Although I'm very happy with the one I've got, but just see what's there.
There is a really interesting, and I'll say What do we call Dietrich's blade?
It's a flame tongue rapier.
No, what did we say it as? We didn't say that word. I totally.
I
Oh,
I usually say cutlass.
Yeah, so it's a cutlass-like blade. That is this very, very interesting black metal material.
okay. Is it anything I recognize?
It is black. It's black steel.
Okay.
I see you looking at it. That is the Acheron blade. Well, one of them.
Oh, what can you tell me about it?
It is a dark steel blade. It gives you some interesting effects. Those that have returned to life often try to find them, as it stops them from being turned into ash.
No, I've found it.
Above
If you want
game,
the details.
Yeah.
it is a +1 attack and damage roll magic weapon. You are immune to turn undead. Once per day, you can give yourself 1d4 plus 4 temporary hit points. It cannot be used again until dusk. And once per turn, when you hit a creature with an attack, it has a disadvantage on the next saving throw it makes before the end of your next turn.
Ooh.
It ignores this effect if it is immune to the frightened condition. And once you use it, that property, you cannot do so again until the next dusk.
Okay. Well, how much for it?
Probably about 900 gold, I would imagine. Black steel is... Any type of black steel weapon is hard to come by.
I understand. Well, I'll certainly keep it in mind. Can't afford it today,
Of course.
but see how fortunes change.
I will say, there are other people that deal in even more magical things down here if you are interested in them.
No, but you've done us favors already. I'll think of you first.
Appreciate it. Megs, make an investigation check for me. I'm thinking about it.
Fuck! Why is my investigation so bad? So I rolled a 19, -1 for 18.
Yeah. You find a place that deals in crossbows and regular bows. Are you looking for what we talked about?
I'm looking for what we talked about, yes.
The shopkeeper has it's 650 gold.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Any interesting darts or quarterstaffs?
No quarterstaffs here.
Farsu is not going to find a magical quarterstaff till we're like level 19.
Yeah, pretty much. No, there's a couple of them.
Every
There's a couple of them
time.
out
No
there.
quarterstaffs here.
They're wood. Metal. Magic shops don't really carry them.
So this place was all just like magical weapons and armor.
Yeah, but like more like think like rare and lower.
Yeah. But I'm just thinking, so could we, when we're done here, could we try to find another magic items shop that has more of your just like magical tchotchkes? Like cloaks and rings and that kind of stuff.
Some more like wondrous item type stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Wondrous item store.
Yeah.
Like in near Replicant in the Sand City, there's a store that's just like the weird stuff store. Like the guy finds this stuff and he doesn't know what it is, and he sells it there, and everyone's just like, "Yeah, that's the weird stuff store." No one knows what it's just weird stuff.
Yeah. I need to be right back, but yeah, if you guys want to try and find one of those places, I'm sure Nymeria will catch up with you almost immediately from where she went on my map to where you guys are going. But I will be right back, and then so you're talking about like places where you would just because these are the items that I'm thinking of, like where you would find like an amulet of health or like a chime of opening type of place.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Above game, I would be interested in selling the Ring of the Ram and getting some other magic item that
Okay. Yeah,
I
just give me a second.
for that attunement slot that I might like better. Because the Ring of the Ram's pretty good. The thing I don't like about it is that it has a flat +7 attack roll bonus, which is fine for this level. But like once we're a few levels higher and our stats go up and our proficiency bonuses go up and the stuff we fight starts having much higher AC, it's gonna suck ass. And it's like, while I'm here, I might as well trade up if there's something else that will be more useful.
Or at least start looking for something more useful now while it's
Yeah, but
if
like
you
an
don't
amulet
find
of,
something.
I mean, an amulet of health would be great. Even just like a cloak of protection, I would take.
I have to be a good boy and take my medicine.
Were you listening to any of that?
No, I was
Or-
not. Sorry,
Oh, okay.
my headset
No,
is
I
not
was just saying.
wireless.
I was just saying. I'd like to try to sell the Ring of the Ram.
That I heard.
Um, and just look for some other magic item that could use that attunement slot that I might like better.
So, what type of do you guys want to stay on this level, or do you want to go to like
So what's the difference between the levels?
so like if you guys were to stay on this level, like you'd probably find like rare and like uncommon items for a decent price. If you were to go down to level 2 and get into like more of like the Brotherhood shops, there could be some really rare shit.
Yeah, I don't.
But again, the
I
price
don't.
also increases with that too.
Yeah, I don't have I have maybe like 1,000 total right now. I think
Yeah,
rare
between that
and
arrow and that bow, I just blew like all of my gold.
yeah, like I think yeah, and I just bought that armor. Like I'm down to about 1,000 right now.
Okay.
I think uncommon and rare is fine.
Okay.
Is this possibly a place where I might be able to upgrade my tattoo?
In city, yes.
I'm definitely gonna want to see about that.
Yeah. City, yes. This specific place, probably not. Cool. Give me a second. Okay. Anyway, you all head into this. One of the first ones you see that has like an amulet and like a ring on the sign. You guys decide to kind of stumble into. I would imagine. There is a interesting height individual, probably taller than a dwarf. White hair, kind of in like a mohawk, kind of turns around. You see his scar over one eye and the eyeball is completely white. A hobgoblin. Hello. What's can I do for you all today?
Not looking to buy and sell, I think.
Well,
Do you mind if we have a
interesting.
look around?
Yes, of course. Feel free.
I'll see what kinds of stuff he's got available. I'm looking for like maybe amulet of health, maybe cloak of protection. Just kind of anything that would take. I already have a ring of protection,
Okay.
but just like anything that would take an attunement slot and be kind of generally like defensive, I suppose.
Okay. Make a investigation check.
18.
Okay. There are some very, very interesting and weird looking items in here. Um, there's like a inside the cases he has, there's all these different types of rings, all different designs. There's like these glass roses that seem to have magic inside of them. Um, there's a few different cloaks on a rack behind the counter.
What are these flowers? They look interesting.
They're chromatic roses. They, um, I've been told to give you resistance to the type of damage that is associated with the rose's colors. You can do damage with them of that type as well. However, if you take too much damage from a source on one hit, I believe they can, unfortunately, just shatter and lose their effect.
Um, just tap the hilt of my cutlass at my side and say, I think I'm pretty good for offense at the moment.
Yes. Um.
I'm looking for something more that'll just keep me alive a little bit longer.
I was going to say, if you look in the case, I do have a ring of free action.
Sorry, I am just looking these up as you mention them.
Difficult terrain does not cost you extra movement, and magic cannot reduce your speed nor cause you to be paralyzed or restrained.
That's not bad. Yeah, I'll put a pin in that. How many rings can I be attuned to at once?
Like 8.
Oh, okay. Um, is there anything more? I still think. Hmm. I still think Cloak of Protection, Amulet of Hell would be my top two.
Okay.
Just like either higher AC or more hit points just seems more useful generally.
Okay.
But if those aren't there, so I guess I'll ask about the cloaks.
Yes, if that's what you're interested in, something for defense, I think the only one that might even interest you would be the Mantle of Spell Resistance.
And that's just advantage on saves against spells.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the Mantle of Spell Resistance seems up my alley, as it were.
Ugh.
How much?
I could probably part with it for the 800.
Well, I did mention I was also selling.
Yes.
I'll take off the Ring of the Ram and hand it over. Ever see one of these?
I have not. It looks fascinating.
Would you like a demonstration?
I mean, do I want one? I mean, just tell me, to your knowledge, what does it do? And we'll go
You
from there.
you pointed at something and you like say the magic word and it knocks it with a tremendous amount of force and it makes it, fly back a bit. A friend of mine used this to very great effect when we were in a fight on the deck of a ship.
Fascinating.
That kind of thing.
Hmm. I honestly don't know if I even want something like that. How much would you want to sell it for?
Um, how much would I think it's worth? Like, I know it's a rare.
I would say just make a general intelligence check, but that kind of feels mean to do to Dietrich. Make a general intelligence check.
I rolled a natural 3, so that's a 2.
You really have no idea, you think, mate? Like, if he's at cost, maybe it would be like similar to a Ring of Free Action, maybe, but these guys gotta
I
make money.
I would just say like I honestly am not sure quite what it's worth, but maybe 500.
Mm.
And I'm just throwing out that number because it's what I just sold my armor for,
Yeah, okay.
or bought the new armor for.
Yeah, fair enough. That item is honestly going to be a lot harder to sell than a lot of what else I put on in my store down here. Um, I told you what, 800 on the mantle?
Mm-hmm.
What about the ring that you have that you're willing to sell me, and let's say 425 gold? for the mantle?
Make it 400 even, and you've got a deal.
That doesn't seem too terrible.
That's my middle name,
That is an awful
Dietrich.
middle name.
Dietrich, not too terrible, Balthazar.
That seems a truly terrible name, to be honest with you.
But, but not too terrible.
Not too terrible. Whatever.
400?
Yes.
Okay.
And the ring, which I assume you
And
already
the
took
ring.
out of your inventory.
I'm doing that right now. All right. And mantle of spell resistance. Sweet. All right. Pleasure doing business.
Of course.
And I look forward to asking my DM, is that a spell? Every time he asks me for a saving throw now.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Take a point of
Is
negative take a negative
Is that a
inspiration.
spell? Is that a spell, right?
Barzu,
Mm-hmm.
make a perception check.
20.
And this guy seems to have a couple staves. Some quarterstaffs.
Hmm. Look at the quarterstaffs.
Okay.
So I don't know what a stave is.
Quarterstave.
Staves is just the
Staves
plural
is
of
plural of staff.
Staffs.
Oh.
one staff, two staves.
It's like knife and knives.
Huh? I take a
You
look
mean
at
a knife and a knives?
I thought it was Kniff.
You gotta cast Identify on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's plural, like sheep and sheep.
Goose and geese. It
Asshole and Congress.
God, well, somebody asked me for my favorite quote from a movie, from like a comedy movie the other day, and the first one that came into my mind was Spaceballs. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Yo!
Hey.
Keep firing, assholes.
This thin metal staff that seems to be it allows you to grip it as a gnome, even though it is a couple feet taller than you. It has like this weird crystal that seems to be crackling with energy, and you cast Identify on it. It is a Staff of the Storm.
Ooh, I like storms.
It uses your spell attack bonus instead of your normal attack bonus for attack rolls with it.
Oh.
And when you make a melee attack with it, it does 1d8 bludgeoning plus 1d6 thunder damage.
Ooh. Make storm clouds?
And that's it.
Yeah.
It's a spellcast. It is technically a spellcaster melee weapon.
Interesting. How much do you want for this?
Like 750. I will also say above game it requires attunement, just so you're aware.
Of course it acquires attunement.
Everything good requires attunement.
Yeah.
I guess I should have like seen about trading in my other bow.
What was it again?
+1 longbow.
You can get like 350 for it.
Done.
Okay.
interested in this, and I'll hold out the parapet of wound closure.
Oh yes, I love items like that. They're so easy and nifty to sell. I'll give you like 225 for it.
So, how much would the staff be?
At that 225 minus 225, that'd be 525.
Would you also be interested in this? And I'll pull out the fire glass.
I've never seen anything like that.
It can add fire to weapons, as far as I know.
Huh, fascinating. Not my kind of cup of tea, unfortunately.
Okay.
Oh,
500 for the staff?
525 and that parapet of yours.
Okay.
Okay. Of course, pleasure doing business with you all. If you're ever interested in selling anything else, feel free to swing by.
It's a staff of.
I will add it to your inventory because it is a homebrew item.
Okay.
I've been holding on to it for a hot second. And I assume you want me to remove the parapet from your inventory and...
I did remove it.
Oh, okay. That's why my
And the
D&D
gold.
Beyond crashed. I do need to edit the 2-hit bonus on it.
Okay.
Because it is actually +8 because you have your spellcasting modifiers +8. So it's
14?
proficient. Huh?
Not plus 14?
No.
Oh. Thought it would add the both together.
Nope. It uses your spell attack bonus instead of your normal attack bonus, so it is a +8 on it.
Which is the higher?
Yes. I was nice. I gave you the higher one. Don't ask for 14.
Oh.
Actually, that would be +18 because it also includes your proficiency bonus.
Oh.
Because I believe
have a
you are
+4 to
proficient
mine.
with quarterstaves, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, no, +8.
And then the +4?
Yes. Because I fucked up. As far as you have the highest plus to hit now in the party,
What is this plus to hit?
12.
14. 12.
Yeah, he's beating me by 1.
Oh, Emrys with the moon sickle.
+6.
Really?
Is it only a plus?
Yep. He is not proficient with it. With the weapon.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think he's proficient with the weapon.
It's just a sickle, right?
Yeah. No, he is. It's only a +6, though. That's super weird.
No, because he's proficient with it, so that's 4, and it's a +3 weapon, so that's 7 total.
It's a
at
strength
least.
weapon, so he has -1.
It's a strength weapon, so he has -1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. I would have thought that would be way higher.
Nope.
But yeah. Well, luckily it does a lot more than just hit stuff.
Yes. Cool. Is there any place else you guys want to try and find when you're down here?
I have hit the shitty part of the event.
Yes.
The boss is up, so you have to kill all the shit around it, and there's nobody else here, and I'm a fucking tank.
Oh God.
It is
I
respawning.
was there last night.
It is respawning faster than I can kill it.
Okay, is there any place else anybody wants to go while you guys are down here?
Does he have any spell scrolls?
A couple.
Oh yeah, take a look at scrolls.
Yeah. I'm surprised Fair didn't look.
Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna have to head off soon. I'm not feeling so great.
Okay. I was gonna wrap it up here shortly anyway.
Sorry.
Make a Arcana check for me real quick, both of you, if you guys want to look through spell scrolls.
20.
Okay.
22.
Okay. He has teleport, summon construct, and enhance ability in terms of spell scrolls.
Bond construct. Is that a wizard spell?
Tell you what it is in a second. It is on the wizard and artificer spell lists.
How much for this one?
400 gold.
Oh. I'll probably pass on that for now.
All right.
Or what were the other two?
Teleport.
The other one was enhance ability, right?
Correct.
How much for the teleport?
Those are not easy to come by. I would probably let that go for about 5,500 gold.
Noted.
Well, no scrolls today, I see.
So with that, good luck with the rest of your search, I imagine. Have fun checking out our other wares and stores down here. Oh, yes. Sorry, I read that wrong. 5,800 gold for the teleport. Anything else in this shop or any other shop that you would like to try and go to?
Are there any like temples or shrines down here, or is it pretty much just like people living here and shops?
From what you have seen so far, pretty much people living here in shops.
Okay.
Also, I had a Nymeria question I completely forgot. You're taking Ollie everywhere, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. All right. Is there any other Where are you guys off to next? If anywhere.
Probably back up to the surface.
Yeah, I think probably across the river to go try to sell the wagon full of stolen stuff.
Okay. All right, so you guys are gonna head out of here and go across the river, go get your cart, and then go across the river.
Yep.
As you all are heading across the chasm to leave on the other side, these two people wearing this kind of reddish gold embossed armor, about 4 of them kind of approach you and stop your group in its tracks.
Can we help you?
Our employer would like a word with you all, if it is not too much trouble.
And who might your employer be?
Our employer is Lierin, a semi-reputable businessman who has some inquiries for you all.
Oh. Well, semi-reputable seems to be our lane. I suppose if we say no thank you, you'll make a big stink of it here in the street, and we'll have ourselves a bit of a fracas, and then we'll end up coming with you anyway. Am I correct?
He reaches down and pulls kind of his cloak to the side and pulls out half out of his sheath, and it is a gun blade. Your assumption would be correct, yes.
You know, I've always wanted to meet this employer of yours. Thank you so much
Excellent.
for coming to collect us.
Of course. We will lead you there right now. Sarcasm aside. And that's what we'll pick up next week. Booyah. Alright, we're gonna
Such a nice little slow session today.
Yeah, we're gonna go raid another D&D channel. Or sorry, let me rephrase that. A TTRPG channel, because they're my crack to raid when they're playing this campaign on Wednesdays. They stopped for a while, but they're back because it's vampire, which I love. So we're gonna go raid them. If you guys are watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we will see you guys Monday for back on Sawyer 7 finally, and then we'll see you guys next Wednesday for see what happens in this nonsense.
Are we playing next Wednesday?
Oh, we're not playing next Wednesday because it's freaking Thanksgiving. I totally forgot about that. So we'll see you guys back in 2 weeks for this campaign.
Thanksgiving
Thank you.
Eve, but yeah.
Yeah. All right.